Hello everyone, you join me here in the Alfa Romeo Giulia. Today I wanted to do a bit of a owner's guide review, that kind of thing, of the Giulia, because I've owned the car for approaching 12 months now and I've done a reasonable amount of mileage, not as much as I probably would have done for one or reason or another. But I feel like it gives me ample knowledge and ample sort of experience to do a relatively well-rounded review on the car. A couple of little things, you know, love, hates, durability, not durability, reliability and not, and so on and so forth. One of the things is it's bloody warm in here. With a black car, honestly, you're looking at maybe 5 to 10 degrees difference. It's crazy. If you live somewhere warm, honestly, get a white car. Just will help with the heat so much more. But anyway, let's get into walking around the car. Let's get into the good, the bad and the ugly. So I've panned to a wide view just so you guys can see. So first off, out the bat, this is going to be a driver's review. This is not a review for somebody that's a passenger that just wants to sit in the car. This is going to be from the POV of the driver. So first up, as you're in the car, it's dead comfy. You know, the seating position, depending on how you like to steer. So for me, I sit a lot like this, or maybe down here as well. So, you know, that kind of driving style, it works relatively well. This sort of, the ball on my elbow sits on here quite comfortably. Don't have too many issues. Infotainment system, you know, the screen's pointing at you. It's a shame that the screen itself is only this big. You might be able to see it in the camera, but I'm tracing it out here. It's literally like that. So sometimes when you turn it on, just whack my Bluetooth off. So as you can see, I mean, it might flicker, but that's the CarPlay. So when you're sat, don't get me wrong, it fits well. It would be a weird shape if it was the whole thing, but I do feel like it could have been a little bit bigger. I need to change my brake pads and obviously the ignition's on, but the heads-up display is nice. I like the white on the black. It's very classy, very smooth. Obviously auto lights, auto wipers, cruise control, all that kind of stuff, you know. But all in all, up here it's quite good. Some of the buttons down here can be a little bit awkward if you've got a can. That's your heated seats, heated steering wheel. Not sure why it's down there and not on the steering wheel. I know that the blanks are for radar, cruise control and maybe a drive mode, something like that. Same with the DNA. I don't get the race in this, but you know, you can have it added on if you're bothered. Again, with the flappy paddles, the only problem I'd say with the flappy paddles, they go in here. You see these little notch here? They go in there, so you you get a different bottom trim, or you drill a hole, whack them in there, which isn't great. I like to be able to change gear like with the wheel down here. I don't know why you'd want to do it where you change gear and then you're like, if your steering wheel's over there, you're like, oh, I've got to go back here to go down. Like, but if you're going a little bit quicker, if you're on track, that's sort of where that's based. Excuse the mess. I live in the car at the moment. This is sight. I'm just sat here. So I was like, I'll record a video. Hey. So 8-speed automatic, ZF, I believe it is, from the BMWs. Nice gearbox. Nothing crazy. The sequential mode is okay. You're not going to use it, are you? It's an 8-speed 2.2 diesel. It's just for hitting the motorway, you know, just for hitting the motorway. Storage, reasonable, nothing crazy. Shame it doesn't come with a USB-C in the 2017 models, the pre-facelift. The post-facelift does, and you can buy the little this sort of section here that's got a USB-C in it. It doesn't need an aux, does it? Same with up here, you know, it's a USB-A port, which is okay, you know. Whatever. The only other gripe I've got is that in these this is a Speciale, you so much grey. I hate the grey up here. So as you will have seen in the other videos, I've wrapped these. I've wrapped this section and here as well. The next plan obviously will be the B and the C-pillars, and then I'll paint the handles and then look at figuring something out for the roof. But when I take it off, I've got a Starlight kit at home, so we'll probably end up doing that. Some of the other things to note, obviously the boot button press is down here. Now the bonnet switch, even the guy who I bought the car off didn't know where the bonnet switch was, the sales rep. The bonnet lever is actually, I can get it on camera for you, there. Why is it all the way over here? What is that about? The OBD reader is just here, pretty standard place. The only issue I've ever had with this is if you've got one of the little Carly devices that go in here, they sort of hang to about here. So when I'm in the work boots, I've kicked it off and I've smashed the Carly little OBD reader. Now I know you probably wouldn't leave it in anyway, but I'm lazy, so I did. I leave it in and then it's scan an app on your phone. So just be mindful if you've got something like that and you've got sizable feet, you'll end up knocking it off. In terms of, like, you know, aesthetics and that kind of thing, you know, the boot opens off the key, that's dead handy. It probably won't even do it now, actually. It'll do nothing off the key. Right, brilliant. It's just not even alive. Nice. But you know, the car looks great. The wheels are all right. There are options, you know, if you're going to buy new. The boot itself is sizable. You know, there's a fair old reach back there, and obviously you've got your ski flap or golf club flap, however you want to do it. I was surprised it is actually a 5-door, despite it being sort of, you know, oh, that's why, it's because the ignition's on, sausage. It is a 5-door, but obviously the passengers get these nice cool cup holders, which is, you know, pretty handy. It's just a shame, again, you know, you've got to really start faffing around to try and do anything, but it's never easy, is it, with the Italians? It looks nice, but it's never easy. So, jumping back in, I'd say the only other thing that's a bit frustrating with the inside is you're watching my seat now. So I'm going to turn the car off and I'm going to open the door and it's going to move me back about a foot, well, not a foot, about 4 to 6 inches, something like that, which just means that whoever's in the back gets no leg room. Now you might be saying, oh, it's because my seat's already far back. No. This is the default position to be in to get in and out of the car. It moves it back. The angle, yes, I've reclined it, so it will be much, you know, but it comes this far back anyway. You'd sort of be about here. You're in line with the B pillar, which if you've got anyone in the back, I'd just let them get out first. So, the good, the bad, the ugly. I've owned this car, like I say, for about 12 months. I've spent nearly 3 grand, call it 3 grand on the car. So the gearbox oil needs changing, similar to the cam belt. Again, it's like they're serviceable items, but they are something to consider. The fluid for the gearbox is £30 a litre and requires 10 litres. So you're at £300 straight away just for the fluid. Then it needs like a special machine to do it, automatic, blah, 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 it has to run through cycles. That's why you end up paying a little bit more, because then you're like, oh, well, I've got to go to a specialist. And then when you're at the specialist doing the gearbox oil change, you're probably in a position where you're like, oh, well, I may as well do my cam belt and water pump. And then your cam belt and water pump isn't a £400 job, it's £700. You know what I mean? So try and work it out that way, depending on how tight you want to be. The other issue, the screens on these, they freeze, they can lag a little bit, especially the older generations, because they don't come with CarPlay. So you end up getting a CarPlay box fitted, or fitting one, either or. They're just not overly compatible. It's not brilliant. They do work, and that's what I've got. I've had it freeze on me 3 or 4 times. So it's like once every couple of months. It's not the worst thing in the world, but in order to reset it, you have to like pull over, turn the car off, get out the car, lock the car, come back in and do it again. There is no like, oh well, I'll just turn the screen on and off, because it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't lose power to actually do a full reset, which is a bit of a shame. The other one, obviously everyone knows Italians and the wiring and stuff, the electrics in general. So it might be an anomaly with mine. I had some wires under my fuse box go. Basically they were then arcing on the EGR and giving me loads of jip, loads of problems. So that was like £1,000. That was a load of money in diagnostics, hours and hours and hours tracing wires, you know, doing voltage tests and this, that and the other. The actual part itself was maybe 50 quid for the fuse box, but again, it's the diagnosis, it's the unknown. There is no like, you know, oh well, your crank sensor's gone. Okay, well I know where my crank sensor's going to be, I'll just replace it. When it's like electrical problems, it starts to get a little bit more unknown, you know, and a lot of these places are feeding different things, so it's just more difficult, it's more hassle. I hate wires anyway, as you'll all know. My wiring's atrocious because I just hate doing it. But in terms of the drive and stuff though, man, it definitely makes up for it. It picks up really well, you know, they are tunable. They do handle it well as well. The gearboxes are great, you can map those. So the Speciales start around 180 brake, so you're looking at sort of 220 top end with a gearbox map and that kind of thing, and it's lovely. Gives you that little bit of oomph when you want to, you know, join the motorway or you're pulling out from somewhere, but then it will happily cruise and give me 50 to 60 mpg on the motorway at 70 mile an hour, so can't really complain in that sense. So obviously I'll do an in-action view, you know, of us driving and that, but all in all, it's a solid car. You've got to take the hit to sort of be like, okay, it's going to cost me a little bit of money, but it looks great, feels great, drives great, you know, it's nice to be in. One thing for me with my job is I'm in the car a lot. As you can see, I'm in the car working now because I've got no office at the moment, so it's just nice to be in, a nice place to be, so it's worth spending the money. I think these are coming down though at the minute. I think I give 14. You could probably pick them up for just a touch less, similar mileage. I'm on 73, something like that. So yeah, I think all in all it's great. I think in a month, let's say I do, I don't know, 1, 2, 600, 700 mile, you're looking at 100 to 200 quid depending on how you're driving. You know, I've had 500 plus miles out of the tank. Tank's about 60 quid, something like that for brimming it. It's only 50 litres or 55 litres, so it's not a massive tank at all, and diesel's a little bit cheaper at the moment, and I've got a fuel card, so it's a bit cheaper then. So definitely those things to be into consideration for the car. It's not loud, it's not proud, but it still has that road presence and feel if you do want to, you know, boof, because they're talky, aren't they? They're diesels, so sort of low end, nipping around the lanes, great fun, can't complain. Doesn't kick out, doesn't do anything fun, but that's not what it's about. It's a daily driver. So if you're after a daily driver that, you know, yes, you have the compromise because you have something that's a little bit more, you know, stylish and a bit more la-di-da, you can go and buy a Passat if you want something to be reliable, but you haven't done that. You bought an Alfa, and it comes with certain drawbacks, but the good things about them definitely outweigh the drawbacks. So if you're looking at getting one, get one, because even though I've had the problems and I cuss it to death, I love driving it and can't complain. But yeah, let me know if you guys are looking at one, you do buy one, love to see it. Instagram's down below as well, GTI Mike. I know I've got an Alpha, but hey ho. If you guys did enjoy, want to see more content like this, other videos, do let me know. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Cheers. So here we are on the open road. I'll let you guys be the judge of the road noise. Bear in mind as well, it's not like I've got the most expensive tyres on in the world or anything like that. It just is what it is. I don't have a phone holder or anything, so you are just sort of resting on the gear stick. But again, it's smooth, it's sturdy, it drives, you know, the AC's blasting, it's lovely and cold. I'll tell you what though, obviously because I've been sat in the car for a bit, it clogs up fast. Just get rid of that fear. It clogs up fast, it does. And the DPF isn't happy. I mean, to be fair, I've been on and off sitting still all day, and it's kicked out a little bit of smoke, and you can sort of smell it a bit, you know. But again, it's not a generator. But it has been working like one today, so can't really moan too much. But other than that, it's lovely. I can't. For all its problems, I can't fault it. Weirdly enough, it's just one of them cars that's it's great fun. What isn't great fun is sitting in fucking traffic all the time. Now, that does me nutty. Come on. Finally leave the roundabout. But, you know, even like down to the little things like the wing mirrors, they're a decent size. They don't look stupid on the car, but I can see. You know what I mean? And which, you know, you don't get that in a lot of reviews. So if I'm sat behind an F-Type now. Not bothered, just whatever. But steering's light, like I say, wing mirrors are good visibility out the back. It is a driver's focused car. It's just been tweaked a little bit to be a comfortable daily as well. Don't get me wrong, it's not like the suspension's a bit soft. You can tell that when you are going through country lanes, but it's not a B-road basher. You sort of have to take it how it comes in that regard. You're not going to be chasing any 0-60s or doing anything crazy, but I mean, look, I'm cruising now, 66 mile an hour. I'm getting, well, over 70 mpg. Don't get me wrong, I'm going downhill, I'm barely touching the throttle, but my average, maybe I can go through, my average over 555 mile, including being sat around, is 40 mpg, which isn't anything to run home and sing about, but I've nipped to the shops, I've sat in the car all day today, for example. I've done short runs of this, that and the other. I've done the odd run of 100 mile, like my commute to work at the minute isn't 100 mile by any stretch. Probably in the day, just under, probably about 70, 80 mile. But it just chews it up and it just plods along. You know, so, you know what? Does alright by me. Gets flack, but does alright by me.